in about probably 4 hours of work, I'd probably end up losing, I don't know, 5 liters of water from my body. That's how much impossible conditions were. And they were smoking. They were doing things, anything, just to, things that were completely against even workplace procedures. I ended up taking the job as a truck driver. 2 jobs like that. For one job, I ended up paying employer because they did not even reimburse me for fuel. The other one, it lasted 2 weeks, of course. Nobody will do it for free. The other job, I had to sleep on the floor because not even the truck that should be for 2 people, as I was assigned to another person to work with, just for the beginning. They did not even assign truck with 2 bunks, but with 1 bunk. So I was the one who ended up sleeping on the floor after everything I went through in my life. And finally, assassinations have taken place. One assassination in 2008, what was in Slovenia. But numerous assassination attempts have taken place previously in the United States of America. Numerous. That much about this. And therefore, in 2008, I have decided to fly back to what was the United States of America. First in Chicago, Illinois, then what was Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Bellingham, Washington. I have walked all these 3 towns on feet, from door to door, applying for the job, and combined with online applications which I have submitted, I have applied for over what was 9,000 jobs within a year and a half. The only job I was allowed to do was a 3-month job, not even 3 months, during which I was forced, compelled to work at what is Target superstores for the minimum wage, of which taxes were deducted as if I was making over $100,000 on a part-time schedule, or 25-hour to 30-hour the most per week schedule. Followed everywhere in the store by mentally disabled people who were used for the mental tortures, as they would simply, they were not there to work but to harass people, to simply harass me. And people who gave me that job basically were people which I was just talking about, people which I have met in Miami. In fact, the Job Corps, or the first job that was given to me in the United States of America at Publix superstores, basically to place the cans on the shelves, and it didn't last more than just few days because there was the guy had the file, literally file from communist Slovenia, showing me that how he know all the information, and was showing me literally details which communists have surrendered him, but he was actually conducting what was psychological torture on me anyhow, per United States Foreign Department affairs. As far as apartments or place to stay, I wasn't allowed not to buy, not to rent on my own. Number one, I had money to buy a house and have paid deposit for one house which I wanted to buy, and I was qualified per. It was turned down. It was turned down because of, and the same thing happened with what were apartments. They were turned down because of what is United States of America credit application or pre-qualification for apartment procedure, just application for rental apartment, and you need to have a steady job. It's one of the requirements in these companies, and that's exactly why requirements exist. It's not enough if you have the money, but you need to have the job. Yeah, well, yes, exactly why. So the government can do with you whatever they want. And what they have done with me is I was forced to rent apartments, literally, which I have used Craigslist. This is a quite huge online advertisement for anywhere from cars all the way to apartments and so on. I had to use as exactly what I have used. They have literally had people controlling from my email to my telephones, and would block and follow me around and steer me to rent from people who are acquaintances now here in Miami in this store. That's how that was. In 2009, I, however, have decided to file for what was political asylum in Vancouver, Canada. And when doing so, first of all, no financial help was granted to me as a due per immigrant once you give him the opportunity to file for that asylum, what actually have happened. But till that final resolution is done or hearing, nothing really is decided. And while in procedure of that, they would, or government would continually to decline to provide immediate service. And people to whom I was referred to as were actually people that I am again mentioning here, the people which were previously in my store in Miami, and not only were in Miami, but were actually employed at workforce agency for innovation, whatever, employment agency in Miami downtown. Not only there, but they had them in what is government building in Miami downtown doing other things as well, all over. Austria, where I have landed next, because I left. I couldn't afford myself to sleep on the street. Therefore, I left. I went back to Europe. I went straight to Austria, and several days after that, I filed for what was political asylum in Germany, in Munich, in München, where I was severely discriminated by what were Turkish immigration officers in German uniforms. They have insulted, discriminated. They have insulted, discriminated against my nationality, against my race, against my religion. It was the second day that, actually first day, upon my arrival, I have slept outside of that immigration center. The second day I was insulted by these people and also transferred to what was Gießen, Germany. Reception center campus for asylum seekers in Gießen, Germany, where I was actually stationed in a room with what supposedly, or according to them, were Albanian immigrants. And that's what they appeared. But these people would blast music. These people would smoke inside. It was not asylum. It was like you went into mental institution. And it was nothing else but physical torture. Severe physical torture have taken place. The American agents all over Gießen, and this is exactly the reason why I was placed there. Not only were also Amnesty International people who are in camp of Gießen, the previous people which have met me in Miami and were there to torture me. But Americans have even what were dioceses or William Henderson dioceses of Gießen, whatever. I spent $50 per night in a hotel searching for desperately, entire day long, running all over the town back and forth, calling people, asking, talking to people, trying to get place to get by somehow. No way. No way. Germany made sure, damn sure, not only would not grant me asylum, not only was I thrown out from that asylum institution, after I have even ended up in what was, I'm not going to say hospital, but had to get what was after hours clinic, because I got so ill.